So in this video we are going to talk about lion baiting. This is an old Bloodsport where they use dogs to combat lions. And two lions are most proficiently described. And one was Nero and the other Wallace. And they are both big lions, whereas Wallace was a smaller one born in captivity and Nero was a bigger one, but not born in captivity. About this lion baiting, I showed you some pictures. Well, I will show you some pictures in a video. They normally had dogs against these lions had a chance, so to say, or a little bit of chance. But very oftentimes those lion baiting contests was a means to show the superiority of the rulers over the common people. So, as you might know, the lion is also known as the king of the jungle or king of all animals. And those kings also want to show how superior they were, and also that they were not even really attempting to fight. Such things were often placed upon the lion, also being majestic and very brave. And lions are very brave, especially male lions. They're one of the only animals that are known to be game as compared to a game dog. So, for example, male lions are known to fight to death even when they are faced with two other male lions and want to take over the pride. So one male lion is the alpha of the pride normally, and oftentimes upcoming lions they work together. Sometimes upcoming lions are alone, but very often they are with two, and two younger male lions will then challenge one alpha male lion that's getting older and fight to the death, because that older male lion wants to keep his pride, otherwise he will die, because his power is still there, because the lion has captured a lot of food for them, but they will wane off if left alone, and therefore they fight so viciously. The only other animals that are known that are dead game, so to say, or really game in the sense of a game dog, are marten species. So, for example, badgers, wolverines, the likes, but also weasels and ermines, and some other martens are known to be very feisty. Also, polecats are really feisty game little creatures, very oftentimes. But back to the lion baiting, so oftentimes they use big mastiffs, and because in dog worlds a mastiff is a big powerful dog, of course, but they were not so good as compared to the bull and terriers, which are the true gladiators, modern incarnations, and they were also used to fight bulls or bears, and those were let loose against a lion. In the case of Nero, he was a lion approximately 320 kilograms. He was facing three dogs, and those three dogs that were set loose on him all had to wane off, but their average weight was 18 kilograms, and one was a really thoroughbred game-bred bull and terrier, and he was 60 kilograms, and the other two already were mauled very hard, and only this Turk purebred game-bred bull and terrier kept going on, and he was 60 kilograms, as I mentioned, so 20 times smaller than that big Nero lion. And now you might say 320 kilograms is very big for a lion, cannot be done, but in the past lions were a lot bigger than they are now, because of being hunted by men. Only the smaller lions normally survive, whereas in the past they had really big lions. And that's proven by scientific evidence. It's also in the pictures that I will put up, so please take a peek. And on the other side there is so he fought with his 3 dogs, but the contest was 6 dogs against his lion, and 6 dogs of 18 kilograms. Six times 80 kilogram on average would be 180 kilogram, and that's like 1/3, almost 1/3 of the weight of the 320 kilogram lion. So the lion would be, if those 6 dogs are facing him at one time, still almost 3 times as heavy as those 6 dogs combined. But he wasn't facing them all 6 together, he was facing them in sets of 3 at a time. So that would be almost 6 times as heavy as the opponents at that certain time point. So you can imagine that the dogs had very heavy, but the 3rd dog that already came out of a match was still healing from its last match against a bigger dog that he was able to kill. Already had a swollen head and damage to its head before it faced the lion. And those 3 dogs stayed with the lion for 11 minutes. And the Turk dog died afterwards from its injury. So 11 minutes they were able to withstand a dog, in dog terms, an opponent that was 3 times as heavy of the complete set of dogs and 6 times as heavy as they were in their bouts. And after that they released the second 3 dogs, because 4, 5 and 6, and then this big lion, Nero, got hurt and didn't want to fight anymore. So those that were from the lion camp said he won, because he was just too majestic to fight his mere mortal dogs, still weighing 6 times as much as the bout he was facing, and 3 times as much as the complete set of dogs. But those at the dog camp said no, he didn't want to fight anymore, and the dogs would have killed him if the match wasn't stopped in favor of the lion. So this was quite inconclusive, to say the least, but still it was given to the lion, and then they said, okay, we will bring another lion, and now they brought Wallace. And Wallace was a smaller lion, but enormously ferocious. So in contrary to this Nero dog, he attacked the dogs very hard all the time, and he also killed the dogs. But he was now facing those 6 dogs, but Turk was not there anymore, and that was the dog that was able to stick with the gigantic lion for 11 minutes before it was picked up. 60 kilograms, not a small feat, but he died, as I mentioned. But on the other hand, of the 6 dogs that were facing this Wallace dog, there were also dogs from the first bout that were already enormously maimed by this Nero lion, and now facing Wallace. They took him mere minutes a dog to defeat them. So in summary, our dogs able to defeat a lion. In the case of Nero they were, in the case of Wallace they weren't. Although I must say that the dogs that were facing Nero, some already had injuries. I don't think it would make that much of a difference, but 4, 5 and 6 of the first bout were able to close the deal, whereas in the case of Wallace, who also was released to face 3 dogs at a time, or perhaps 2 dogs at a time. If you look at different references, they said that they, in the case of Wallace, they decided that they have to, the lion has to face 2 dogs at a time, but for them for 3 bouts. And that could make it a lot easier, of course, because then it would be not 6 times the weight difference per bout, but 9 times. And I think that just makes it a big difference. That being said, also the Wallace lion was smaller than the Nero lion, so it could make it a little bit more fair again. But still, if the lions were facing the same weight of dogs of this bull and terrier breed, I'm almost 100% sure that it would be different, that the dogs would have won and just teared it apart. Of course, some might have died. I think they would, but it's not to be said that a gladiator type of dog cannot win over the same weight of the king of all animals and the king of the jungle, also known as the lion, which is a formidable warrior itself. But the same weight was not tested in this bout. There are stories known that 6 mastiffs were facing 1 lion, also a big lion. So for the same references would be again a lion of 300 kilograms. 6 mastiffs would be the same size of dog in kilograms if they were weighing about 50 kilograms a piece. But on the other hand, a mastiff is a completely different animal than a bull and terrier. So the 6 mastiffs didn't want that much of a piece of that lion and just were not able to put the resistance that they wanted. Whereas those bull and terriers just went in. And now you might be thinking that your dog is much tougher than a cat. But if you look at pets, cat pets are often very much stronger than pet dogs, especially in the same weight range. If you, however, are comparing a working terrier dog, for example, a Patterdale terrier, Fel terrier, a border terrier of working lines, or a game dog type of dog, I would bet on that animal over a cat, even in the same weight range. But dogs, pet dogs versus pet cats, I think 99% at the same weight, the cat will win. There are some differences between dogs and cats, and one is that cats are extremely explosive, very athletic, also better hunters. Even the pet cats are often a lot better a hunter, but the dogs have a bigger heart and can go the longer haul. But those pet dogs don't have the temperament and also are not selected to perform anymore, whereas cats still are quite able to fend for themselves, have to catch rodents, catch birds and kill and eat them, even without support of humans, whereas dogs have it a lot harder. What I also found, for example, street dogs, and street dogs are known also to kill cats, but take into consideration that the average street dog is a lot heavier than the average street cat. Okay, I hope you like this video. Have a great day. Bye bye.